You right. I'll wait.
All right, what the fuck is up? What the motherfucking business is? Cold Hard Facts Podcast, episode 322. I am DNA, the only one. Of course, I got all three of my co-hosts here today. And we got a lot to talk about. Everything is gonna go hand to hand. Of course, we like to involve our own shit into this shit. So, y'all gonna see what the fuck we're talking about. And this episode is gonna be pivotal, very, very pivotal, into what the hell we're doing next. So, yeah.
Yeah. What he said. All that cool stuff.
No music came out really, not for real.
No
I don't know if you
music.
wanted to talk about Juice World. Martin, did you listen to that?
I did not actually.
Okay, cool. I'm cool with that because we got so much shit to other side. I
He
did
said,
want to
"Don't worry
speak
about
on.
it."
I did want to speak on a little bit of that. I didn't listen to it either, but I still want to listen.
I'm just
Like
gonna ponder
give
on
Ain't that little concert today? Was it today
The
or was it
Ju-
yesterday?
Juice World Day is the 29th, so it should be today.
That was
it's the
yesterday, sir.
30th.
Oh,
Today's the 30th.
so it was yesterday then. Okay.
Uh, uh, so G Herbo, he put out strictly for my fans 2.0.
He
It's
sure
like a
did, didn't he?
re-release. It's like a re-release.
I saw that
Uh,
on Instagram.
and I noticed that somebody fucked up. Like, I don't know who fucked up, but somebody fucked up. Because it's literally the same song but a different title to one of the songs on there. I don't know if anybody noticed that shit.
I didn't. I knew
I
it
didn't
came
listen
out, but
to
I
it.
didn't look into it. So
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just gonna say
like-
I did. I wasn't a fan for it.
Yeah, I'm
And-
gonna leave. What?
Yeah, but that shit crazy. That shit was crazy. I was like who's in charge of this? Like they need to be fired for doing that shit. It's still up there too, by the way. It's literally the next song after. I'm gonna let y'all know what it is because that's not good. Like you supposed to be paying attention what the fuck you doing. Like
So when did it originally come out?
it came out originally the first version.
Yeah.
Let me
Man,
see.
was it earlier this year or was that last year?
That was last year. It came out April 23rd, 28th. Yeah, April 28th last year. And the re-release, deluxe edition, I guess you can say, came out this Friday. And yeah, so the song is called Lionhearted. And the next song is Breathing Heavy, but it's literally the same song. So
Interesting.
somebody should be either fired or somebody should get a stern talking to because I don't know. I want to like they
You
better
know, maybe he wanted to rename it.
that's a weak excuse if that's the issue. That's a weak excuse, Doc.
No,
But if that's the issue, I don't know what the issue is. I just,
He said, "I
I'm
just
trying
trying
to-
to report on it."
just trying to help the niggas out.
you're right, for real. Like, I felt like if something like that were to happen, then that is literally they scrambled all this shit in the last minute and just say, "Hey,
Yo,
put this out."
music nowadays is such a microwave, like, cause I'm only 2 songs in, and like, I don't remember nothing from that project.
Well,
I mean, you kind of forgiven because first of all, the shit came out a year ago. That's for
Yeah.
one. And for two, if you wasn't that big of a fan of it, like you just skimmed through it and it's like, oh yeah, this cool, then of course you wouldn't.
Yeah.
hopefully, and then moving over to Juice World, I did not did not listen to it like Martin didn't listen to it. So, but I'm just so glad that this is the last project because it's not really like it's more so like please just let him rest type of thing. and also like it's not. I feel like we got all his greatest shit when he was alive. Like we got his greatest shit when he was alive. Like it's like the songs that came out after is like so. Like they're good. Some of them are good, but they're not.
Well, I ain't heard none of that shit.
Yeah, I know you haven't. It's just like he's got a younger, more of a younger generation type artist. So
Bullshit. I know grown niggas are listening to him right now.
I was just gonna say something like that. He reached out to anybody that fucked with the SoundCloud era back then, and shit of that nature. Because like back then, SoundCloud was such like a huge thing. That pretty much carried most of the 2016 XXL class that year.
right.
But I mean, yeah, shoot. But I haven't listened to it yet just off of just time. I just know there's one song I won't listen to on there, but I mean that's just by obvious choice. It's already been out. But I guess I get the thing of whole letting it die, but I mean like not letting it die, that's bad taste words. Letting things be and letting it like, you know, letting them rest. But if it's good quality, I guess you can let it ride. So I ain't gonna say that yet. A lot of fans have been, you know, riding for this album or riding for this to come out. So hopefully it at least lives to that standard. I ain't gonna say too much else on it because I haven't heard it yet.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
I won't hear it.
Sound like a you thing.
But yeah, moving on from that. I don't know what his list came from. It was like it was a list of like all the people who dominated this year or something like that.
Oh, that I sent y'all earlier. Yeah, like earlier shit this morning. Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows where that came from? Don't know. Some random rap publication from somewhere on the internet. There's so many of them that you know you can't really keep up no more.
I'm pertaining to that people was talking about how was no women on that list. A lot of like it's like
a
lot of controversy on the internet behind the fact that on this particular list, out of all lists, like that's just the end all be all list. That motherfuckers is pissed about this particular list. You see where I'm going with this? And that rhyme. It's fucking stupid, bro. Like
it's literally just unnecessary. I'm trying to find it. I want to see
people are so wrapped up in the fact that there were no women on this list. Like what about Meg Thee Stallion? She had a #1 hit. What about Glorilla? She had a great album. Like yes, Meg Thee Stallion did have a #1 hit.
Yes. Send me the list so I can actually look at it again.
Yes,
okay. I think I can pull it up on here if y'all want me to.
She had a good album. Yes, Lotto had a decent album, but it's just like, can we really say they dominated though? Like, can we really say that?
I mean, to be honest,
dominated. Like, visible, yes. Visible, yes.
Yeah.
Did they make a mark? Yes. Dominate, like the whole year was just about them. Like they just released some landmark album that was just like so good that we just have to. Oh my God, we gotta sing its praises. Like we we don't, because Glorious was not like that for one. 2, Megan was definitely not like that. Megan was definitely not that. And 3, what's that album that Lotto came out with?
Thank you.
What's the name of?
Sugar Honey Iced Tea.
Definitely wasn't that. Like in terms of like when we talking about domination.
Yeah. This here what you call domination.
Like if anything, hold on. If anything, Meg Thee Stallion was dominating on social media for the wrong reasons, and it wasn't her fault.
I mean, 1, this list doo-doo. 2, I mean, to add on to what John said, I mean, it's like when we talked about it in the group chat a little earlier this week, it's kind of what I didn't get a chance to say, or I don't know if I did, but it's the fact that literally for each female rapper that was supposed to have this quote unquote dominant year, a male artist, which is pretty much on this
Overshadow.
list, overshitted on the album. Not overshitted,
Overshadow.
overshadowed. Yeah, I mean, I want to say overshitted because kind of like the numbers were crazy for the artist, but I mean, it wasn't really a shit on. It was just preference.
Put it this way: in a year where Meg Thee Stallion, Glorilla, Lotto, what's another woman artist, a woman rapper that dropped? Somebody help me.
Doechii.
Doechii.
No shit.
That would be. I ain't
That's
even necessarily gonna call that a domination either, because I'll say she made a mark.
she made
And
a
the fact
mark.
that she got nominated for Grammys off that mixtape is amazing. You could technically say
Right.
she dominated if you want to use that. Um, but the whole year has been surrounding this Kendrick Drake beef, like literally the entire year. It ain't let up since March.
And then you got other artists that dropped in between that kind of like made it more irrelevant. You got Corday and Tyler the Creator, and then
None of them
and then
had
Kendrick. Don't forget that shit.
none,
Kendrick dropping another album.
none of the women that they gonna mention. They ain't gonna mention Doechii for one, but none of the women that they mention
You know,
they
they not
want to
mentioning her.
mention or that they want to put on this list even had a bigger year than Future.
Yeah,
Honestly.
and I forgot Plutoski came out this year.
You think about the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. So.
what
But
I
yeah.
was gonna
So.
say, the last thing I wanted to say about it was a lot of people. I told a young woman on Twitter. She was up in arms about it. I said she never responded, but I just said my love 2 cents. I was like, first of all, gender politics is forever a thing. It's not. Music is no stranger to that. It's no stranger. It's unfortunate that these women have to kind of take a back seat to what the men had going on, because if you look at that list, like Kuda Bugin said, why is Travis Scott there? His album came out last year. Why are we talking about him? What did he do? What did he really do of significance this year? Not a single thing. But just the mere fact that his name is like so out there and he's so popular and he was on tour this year is like that's how he kept his name relevant on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Like Travis Scott did not have a bigger year than Megan Thee Stallion, and yet his name is right there, number 2.
Yeah.
You talking about album wise?
I'm talking about period. Period.
I
Name
mean,
me one thing Travis Scott did that would put him over Meg in terms of what kind of year he had this year. This year.
this year.
Other than that tour. What did he do?
Let's see. His song "Fiend" has been streamed damn near a billion times over, and plus the fact that it's the headline for Day Day East WrestleMania, which probably going to be the highest paid WrestleMania they'll have in years. Yes, it's leading into 2025, but that alone will probably shit on a lot of Meg's numbers. She is the theme song for one of Day Day East things, but that shit's on it as well. Yeah, and you don't want me to bring up the tour, but I mean, as far as again, streaming wise, they stream Travis Scott just as much as Meg. So I think his numbers are better. That would probably be my argument. That and the
No, I can see
WrestleMania
that.
thing.
I can see that. No, I
So
can't. Because we really don't know the criteria behind which this list was made.
Exactly. We
Because
don't know what they're
ASAP,
putting into it.
because for some reason ASAP Rocky is on the list. Why is he there? Who knows?
I'm assuming it's got to be Fenty related. Or maybe the hype of him dropping his album. I don't fucking know.
They hype about an
Still
album
dropping.
we ain't go get probably.
Yep.
Exactly.
They up in arms about it. Because hate is still a form of clout. Well, we don't hate it, but you know what I mean.
He just got
So
Travis Scott sound like he just got as far as streaming, like he got longevity in streaming, which is hard to do.
yeah. Oh well, and he also put out Days Before Rodeo. So
Well, that
That's
did
another
come
one.
out.
That's the key.
I don't count that because that's old. He just put it on streaming.
yeah. So in my humble opinion, the women did a lot as far as present. They were present,
For sure.
like I said in the group chat. I told y'all they were present. Like I mean,
They were present. They were there. Yeah.
they were there. Like it's like I don't want to disrespect any women, so I would just say the fact of that we still got some good quality bars out of some of them, and also out of Doechii gave us a phenomenal project. Rhapsody gave us a phenomenal project. Lotto gave us a really good project, a lot better than her last, to me at least. Like I said, like it's the fact that they was present, and that's good enough for me. Like I don't know about anybody else, and I know it's probably not good enough for women, and that's okay. It's okay for you to think that they're in a male dominated space, and we still can, at least us four can respect the bars.
Yeah.
We can expect the fact that they're doing incredible things still like and like I said, like before, when Rhapsody album came out, like she got her one, and I feel like that shit wasn't highlighted enough. Just from my point of view, because I guess because it was more personal, so I'm guessing that's why it didn't get full recognition. But like I was saying, like she rapped her ass off against one of the best rappers of our generation, which was Wayne. So like dog, like that verse on that song, like and she said she changed her verse humbly, like she cool with it. Like she was so confident in changing her verse, like this gotta be on the tier of Wayne or just rap level comparable to Wayne. So I applaud her for that. But another thing I wanted to get to before we move on, I had two questions for y'all.
Look at you. You did it. You wrote it down.
I did. I remembered it because it's pertaining to women. So first question I got for y'all is: do you think we need a woman co-host on this show?
Need? No. Would it be cool?
Yeah. Wait, what was the question?
Do you think we need a woman co-host on this show?
Need?
For like every week?
Need? I don't know about need.
Let me explain. Need, I guess we don't need it because we don't call for.
You know, like she could be an honorary host, like
once
or twice a month.
I don't know about necessarily need.
Yeah.
Would a woman's perspective be welcome? Yes, for sure. Do we need it? That remains to be seen, because I don't know if we got. It would really just depend on demographic. Like, what's the demographic that we have?
Okay, well, we discuss that after.
Chemistry is important.
That too,
for sure.
She got to fit in, like, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah, that's really it. I feel like it'll just be a cool addition at the end of the day, because like her opinion won't differ no different than any of us having an opinion, because you're gonna want someone like-minded to be on the show with us, or at least someone that can give a good conversation and opinion.
Maybe she could bring order in the court sometime. You know what I'm saying? If we go off the rail, she'd be able to bring us back. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah, that does seem like quite a lot. A middleman.
And the second question is, if we were to bring one, does it have to be somebody at least 2 out of the 4 of us know?
No. I mean, we all trust each other. I mean, if one of y'all know her, everybody else would be willing to meet her, and then
it gotta be somebody that somebody know.
Yeah.
But it don't have to be all of us.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like, I guess I'm playing like devil's advocate, I guess it don't matter if we know them per se because, like I
Yeah,
said,
because if y'all remember correctly, when we started not when we started this, but before we started doing this as the four of us, I didn't know Martin from a can of paint. So
exactly.
you know,
For sure. For sure.
Should work.
Okay, cool. Cool. We can move on.
that's
Uh,
crazy. That's crazy now that I think about it. Because if I think about that particular episode, the way we kind of just like riffed off of each other, and we had just met that day was insane.
Because it's straight niggatry in the room. God damn it, straight ignorance was going on in
Like
all
I
the
had, like I
conversations.
had, like I had never met this man a day before in my life, and it just sounded like we had known each other for years.
Man,
uh, so the next topic we got is Drake and UMG, Universal Music Group, or Drake and his label, or however you want to put it.
Suing
Yeah,
niggas.
Drake went and
lawsuits.
told his label daddy that Kendrick's making fun of me, and you guys are letting him, and you guys are streaming it. I don't like it.
Are
You
you
gotta
talking,
stop it. That's how the fuck it sounded to me, in my honest opinion. It's just like I get
bro?
it,
Okay, so
it's
hold
money.
on. Let me just say my little piece, and then y'all can cook. All I'm gonna say is this: when I first seen that he was suing UMG, the way I read it, I perceived it as ain't no way you suing these people over this damn diss track. That is some bitch ass shit. But then I started to read the lawsuit, and I'm like, okay, it's still some bitch ass shit. But I see what you're trying to do here.
It's a money thing.
But it's just the way I look at it, it's just the timing is bad. Like you decided to do this after that diss song had come out, like that particular song come out that's talking about you, then you decide to sue your label. Like it just looks bad. Even if your intentions is in the right place, it's like it just looked bad. And the only thing I can personally respect about that is the fact that he's not directly suing that man. If he'd have directly sued him, I ain't gonna lie, I'd have thrown all my Drake shit out. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm
Like
weak.
how dare you?
Talking about trash.
I'd have did him like Bubba Dub. Trash.
Mm-mm-mm.
But I mean, he didn't put himself in a very, very what? Do you need me to leave? Yeah, and then motherfuckers walked in the room.
It's his reaction. Do you need me to leave? Janice, you need me to
Feel
leave this
good.
room? God damn it.
It feel good for it not to be me.
Ah! This is a day. This is a time where Hood isn't being messed with by the missus. Look at that.
Right? Like just
Man,
uh,
I don't know nothing about them
Working.
problems.
When artists have trouble with their label or sue their label, it never works out for them. They either get called crazy or a pedophile. So
Well,
they called Prince crazy for years. He turned his name to a symbol. You know what I'm
and they called
yeah.
Michael a pedo for years.
saying? Yeah.
But the label didn't call Drake a pedophile. Kendrick Lamar called him a pedophile.
But the
Just so
label
y'all know.
assisted
Well,
with
they finna
people
run with it.
knowing.
They finna run with it. He keep fucking with him.
It's going. It can
It'll
go one
never,
or two ways. My fault. What was you saying?
it'll never be the same for him.
That is true. But I think it's gonna go one or two ways. It's like I think it's gonna be like a whole like he can either win it and he get a very very paid man more than he already is, or it goes left and it kind of ends up kind of like how Diddy was with the whole little Ciroc situation.
Oh, he
Mhm.
could change. He could change the landscape of music if he go independent. Like
That'd
he
be
could change a
big.
lot.
There we go. Kuda
Dre of
Bugger
Him,
all
said the
people going
right shit
him,
independent.
right there. Kuda Bugger
him,
said the right shit. We're gonna amplify that in a minute. Go ahead.
It'll change a lot. Like a lot. Like record labels go get desperate if an
I
artist like Drake
mean,
go independent.
because at this point, bro, Drake has enough money to do that at this point. You know, he got enough money. The nigga is damn near a billionaire. If he ain't a billionaire already, he on his way. So he
Close.
he he has enough money to sustain his own music career at this point. He really
To
didn't
be
need to be signed to Universal, but they threw so much money at him. It was like, all
how can you
right,
say no?
Right. Why
exactly.
would you?
And now that y'all like, I feel like okay. I want to circle back to what Kuda Bugger said. Like I said, like his last album, uh, which is arguably one of his most commercial successful albums. Not
Yes,
one,
it is.
not his. Oh, it is his most.
No, it's one. I think it's up there. I think Views is still the top one,
Okay,
but I gotta look
okay,
that up. Somebody
okay.
look
So,
them numbers up because I can't do it.
uh,
What am I
Actually, yes,
looking
I
up
can.
again? I was
No,
just
I
gonna
can
say.
do it. I got it.
okay, so yeah, Scorpion, which was his last album under Cash Money, Young Money, Universal. He was still signed to Universal at that time. So, like when he negotiated, when they brought him up to, this is the time where he got his all his masters, of course. But I'm sure the following contract that he signed was more so of
Okay,
the
it
in the
was. It's actually
labels.
my bad. It's Scorpion, his most streamed album.
Okay. Um, yeah.
I thought
When
it said
they
three songs.
re-signed and got that 400 million or whatever the amount was, um, this is the time where we got these different and also not amazing bodies of work from Drake. We can, like as Martin called it, certified mid boy and honestly never mind and her loss for all the dogs. All these projects is all he owns his masters with, but also he's still under UMG. So these are the ones that like you can say, okay, you want your masters, give us these type of albums.
And put it this way.
And
Um, no, go ahead. I'll say it.
uh so the best, I felt like the best thing he should have done was like, I'm pretty sure he had, if not all of this, majority of this, like planned where he was gonna release Care Package, Dark Lane demo tapes, and some of Certified Lover Boy. He probably had some of it, not all of it. But he had enough to where he could probably put out a small EP with Certified Lover Boy. He couldn't have had the full project because it's 21 songs on this album. So
Mm-hmm.
um like I was saying, bro, like this is you're not gonna get this anywhere else. I keep saying that. This is the second episode where I didn't say that shit, and I'm just like, this is like clear evident where like independence is important now at this point. Like you can see it in everything they're doing, bro. Like each of these big artists, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Drake, you can see all three of what they're doing, bro. They're literally taking their control back in a way that like should be amplified because Kendrick is not saying anything; he's just dropping. And then for the most part, he's dropping on YouTube first before he drops into the streaming services. So it's really like having um your fan base taking control and like it's a middle finger to the labels every single time, bro. Like these artists are really painting the picture for y'all that like these labels don't need y'all the most. Like that's why they like really low key losing money like a motherfucker, and they like that's why they laid off so many people. Like I'm hearing a lot of shit about how um, some of these artists own labels, like it's the way they got it positioned. Like they cut it. It's like they cut that label off in some way. So that's why you see you got Ari Lennox just going crazy on Instagram and really expressing her frustration in a whole nother way, where it's like even amplified more now. Where T-Pain jumping in the comments like because he's independent, like it's crazy, and that we're gonna get to J. Cole and everything, but it's gonna just bring that shit right back up again. How he's just taking control of straight to consumer every single time, straight to consumer. But go ahead, John.
What I was gonna say was, it ain't really got nothing to do with the music business side. I was just gonna say that you were saying how when this UMG deal happened, that's when all these mediocre albums came out. But you could see the decline starting to come around Views, because one would argue that Views was his last good album, because Scorpion has some skips here and there. Certified Lover Boy definitely got some
Here and
skips.
there.
Um, yeah, here and there, motherfucker. The whole album made a skip.
I mean, the whole side A, side B would tell me otherwise.
Like I
But
said, Certified Lover Boy got skips. I don't know what the hell that honestly Nevermind is, and
it's
I know
honestly
what
never
it
mind.
is, but and then for all the dogs, bro. When I see the streaming numbers for that album, it makes no sense to me because half them songs are so like subpar. I'm just like, how the fuck are people enjoying these?
Because a lot of them didn't like honestly never mind and flock to For My Dogs.
So,
And then her loss was technically Drake and 21.
hmm
Right.
Um,
Yeah, but yeah, he definitely should have like Drake definitely should have went independent though. Like it's just like
hmm
more evident. Like your dog, like you should have went independent, dog. It's the crazy thing is I don't think he's ever had that type of freedom is different. He could have took 2 years off. He's at the point where he doesn't have to like do anymore. At this point, you sure do anything anymore. It's like your confidence. You got to show your confidence through your music. We know you can make a hit. You probably can make 10 hits on one album, bro. Like it's already know. We already know the your rapping ability too. Like we know what you wrote and what nobody that somebody else wrote, but you can tell the difference in the bars and the way you craft the song. So like it's like he took him a while to figure that out, and it came with the suing of of this. But like that's why, yeah, this is it's super amplified now. The fact that he's like you're you're just throwing hella gasoline on Not Like Us now, dog. You throwing hella gasoline on GNX
yeah,
not right now. Like you
my homie
Gaslit,
is convinced.
gaslit.
My homie is convinced that Drake hasn't lost public opinion with this album, and I'm like, yes, he has. Probably not with his fan base, but if anybody was on the fence about him for a while or didn't like him already, it ain't make it no better.
right.
And that's not him suing his label because of the direct success of Not Like Us is not making him winning him anybody over in this beef. He already lost in the court of public opinion. Now it just made it worse. It's
Mm-hmm.
like that song and whatever your label did to make that song, what you claim your label did to make that song as successful as it is, it bothered you that much that you gonna sue the label. Like
Mm-hmm.
forget the song and what they said about you. It's the fact of the success of the song that bothers you, not what he said, which is strange to me. But I'm not in that situation, so I can't really comment or speculate. But
Yeah.
Like I said,
Uh,
if he already didn't, like I said, if people already was on the fence about him, that shit didn't make a lot of people. Even if you read the lawsuit, which I did, and you understand where he's coming from in that lawsuit, it's like okay, cool. But then the defamation lawsuit, you basically suing your label for defamation when your label didn't make that song. Kendrick made that song. Did nobody tell him to make that song? Did nobody put a gun to his head and force him to make that song? He just said that to get under your skin. Now, good on you for not suing him directly, but it's just like now you're suing your label for defamation. Now you really don't look good. Even if
mhm.
whatever you doing,
Understand.
even if you feel like even if you feel like you're doing what's best for your career, that was a risky thing for him to do. Especially after that song. If he had done it before that song even came out, have been like, oh, okay, he's suing his label. Whatever. I hope he win. But because it's directly related to that song,
Mm.
he's just making
And
himself look like a jackass at this point.
yeah, so
Definitely.
it's other things that, like I said, we're gonna get to even in more in depth with J. Cole because um so the other things are like the not like matter of fact everything around this beef time, around the time that Kendrick was dropping all those songs, like if you've been paying attention, the YouTubers are eating now was eating off those songs for real, like they was really eating
Yeah,
because like
and Universal tried to put a stop to it.
right, so Kendrick, he basically gave them free reign, and so the YouTubers can profit. They greenlight it, and if you know what you know about YouTube and how they move, like they're not gonna greenlight anything unless you got a sponsorship behind that shit, bro. Like if you sponsored by somebody, that's the only way
Mhm.
they like is gonna get greenlit to get
Mhm.
money. So like Kendrick was doing that. And Drake more so is basically like the payola thing where the streamers are getting paid and like they don't like how UMG was doing like letting them do that and all that shit. But
But they was doing it
like
for
if you
him.
think right, because honestly, every artist should do that, bro. Like every artist should just go ahead and green like the shit because if you think about it, that's more promotion. That's more promotion for y'all, dog. Like if you think about it, that's the only way y'all gonna eat like how we eat. Like we're I can control. We're pushing your record even more. You know, what I'm saying like if you think about it, anytime artists go on Castanet stream, like I'm sure the label pay him a bulk amount of money for him to go on there, like them to go on there. Like,
Mm.
come on, dog. Like, we gotta start being looking at things and paying attention to how it works, like how things work and how niggas get money. Like we've been doing this for 6 years. Me, all three, like this is six. We 6 years strong in this shit, and you don't think we paying attention? Like come on, dog. Like it's like clear and it's evident. It's like they putting it right in our face, and then it's then like ha 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 ha
Mhm.
Mhm.
ha. Like
Right.
yeah, like come on, dog. Like it's like for real. Y'all not paying attention? Like it's no reason for artists to sign a label deal unless you trying to get your shit worldwide and like you shouldn't be helping. You be cut the middleman out. Fuck them labels. Like for real. Like cut that motherfucking middleman out, dog. But all in all, the biggest artist that's doing the craziest some of the craziest things I've seen independent wise is Brent Fayez. Like that's one, and he's R&B. So like that, like he's doing some crazy shit. Like
Yeah, I mean
eventually, I think
his deal that he's his well, what was it? A public it was it a publishing deal or was it a distribution deal? I think it was a
I want to
publishing
say it was
deal, wasn't it?
distribution. I think it
Well, it was
was.
some
I
type. I
think it
think
was
it
publishing.
anyway, his deal with United Masters was the first of its kind. You know, he basically he had a label, then he revamped the label, signed that joint deal with United Masters. So basically, he's fully in charge of his own shit. Like he's his own boss. The label is his. Every piece of money he owns his masters. All that shit.
For
Um,
sure.
and the nigga don't release like that. You know what I'm saying?
He
So it's
doesn't.
kind of like he eating. You know what I'm saying? He's making. He got somebody in his ear. He either knows this or he got somebody in his ear that's just like, yep, you do this, you do that, we do this, everything gonna work out. Like he's truly the first independent artist to really like be eating. He had to sign a little label. Fuck a label.
For sure.
The nigga went number two on the Billboard chart without a label. Sold out world tour with no label. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's an impressive ass list.
Yeah, man. It's like they really out here like,
but see, I think
and I'm not.
the labels put themselves in this position because the labels have been trying to pivot away from hip hop for a while now. You
Right.
know, um, hip hop been dominant too long, I guess. I don't know. They want to put rock back up there or pop or I don't know, some form of music back at the top. And it's just like you can't control what the people like. You can put all type of money behind the song, put all the money you want behind an artist, but you can't deny what the people want. That's not saying that the people just listen strictly to hip hop, but it's just like if that's what they're listening to, what the fuck can you do?
Right.
What you gonna go and you gonna I'm gonna hit shuffle on my phone and I'm listening to I don't know Jadakiss or something. The next thing you play for me is Taylor Swift and there's no Taylor Swift on my phone. Like, what are you doing?
Good old Apple Music playlist shuffle. That
Oh no,
infinity shit.
they don't do that. Not to me
It's
at
more
least.
so
But
Spotify that does that
yes,
than
we talking about Spotify because Apple Music.
Spotify
When
is
you
bad for that,
They
but
they
Apple
when
Music
when
pay
can get
what
you
better.
you
yeah, Apple Music, when you shuffle, they play only what you have in your library. They don't do all that, you know what
No,
I'm saying?
yeah. So they do have something on there. It's an infinity loop button that you would push next to the shuffle. So if you play a single, it'll play something that's similar to it or in that same
Oh
bracket.
yeah, it does that. But um for the most part, if you hit that, you playing a playlist or you playing an album or something, it'll just play that.
I mean, kind of, yeah, but yeah, I get that. Y'all now I know what you mean. Yeah, no. So Spotify doesn't have the infinity thing where it, like play like minded.
Spotify literally just play anything. You'll be playing something, and
hmm
then once that's done, it'll probably play some random shit. You'll be like, what the fuck is this?
See, I don't like that. I like the. I don't need like a whole set of organization necessarily, but I do like if you're gonna
You
do that.
can't control it though. Like you can
Yeah,
turn
you
it
can't
off.
control it.
You can't.
Like DNA loves to sing Spotify's praises for his own personal reasons, but Apple Music may not have every single piece of music on its platform, but the way that they handle streaming and the way that they handle what you're listening to, how
So
you're
much
listening
better.
to it, they the goats, man. Like
Yeah,
I
they
can't
hold
deny it,
it
bro.
down.
Like
they pay
I
attention to
can't
your
deny it,
interests.
bro. They pay attention to your interests, man. Spotify just be throwing stuff at you, like.
Spotify, try this. Try
Apple
this.
Music, if you go on your Apple Music playlist, it creates playlists for you based on what you listening to. And every time you look at it, even if you may not have never heard the song before, or maybe it's an artist that you like, but it's a song you never heard before, it always be like, okay, well, what about this? You don't have to listen to this, but these are just suggestions.
Right. Like that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Because I think the only downside is like after a while, Apple Music will be like, "Well, all right, you ain't said nothing, so why don't we try this?" And then they give you something completely different. But that's after a
Hmm.
while. That'd be my complaint. But if Spotify does that all together, that's kind of bad.
Yeah.
And I just got my
Well,
free trial to try them. I don't know
uh,
now.
uh, what I will say is like it's like you. It's sort of similar to Apple Music in which where like they're like put up your recommended or just they'll put all your favorite artists right here at the bottom and shit and then they'll like based on what songs you like, here's this and but they don't give you like a full playlist though. That's the thing they don't do.
Right.
But um all in all, like uh I feel like like he a lot of smoke and mirrors about to come to the forefront. As far as this lawsuit comes out, and that's what the labels don't want. They don't want all the behind the scenes shit to get out and everything. So
They finna do
another
Drake like
another art.
they finna do Drake like Diddy.
That's why I
Oh
was just
shit.
saying, Diddy and Ciroc.
Uh, but yeah, they also they be like over like they it's this lawsuit thing probably gonna take a while. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like this, the way it's moving, like it's gonna take a while. Like uh the shit that he's suing for, like is I think they home bases in Texas. iHeart, and iHeart is a part of UMG. He's
Yeah,
suing iHeart
he's
also.
on them too. Yeah.
So and their home bases in Texas. So like, it's like he got some Texas roots as far as family goes, which is crazy. And it's just like, he's amplifying that like, no, I'm not playing. I want out of this shit. Y'all better stop playing with me today. And yeah, it just goes to show that like, bro, like it was right in your face. Go independent. You've been signed to a label so long, dog. Then why would you even go back to the label like you need them? You don't.
Because when money good, or they did you right for so many years, you try to keep the
Man.
the good ties together.
Yeah. But moving on, we can
Fuck Twitter, because Twitter always got an opinion on some shit and don't be doing shit but what the motherfucking article say. Don't be
right,
doing no reading. Just be
right.
looking at the motherfucking headline and going with that headline.
That
Um
they do.
so yeah, that's moving on from that though. We can me and Silk over there talk about J. Cole and his other 3 episodes that released. The first episode was Who Dat,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll reiterate this for people who did not know. Like I hated fucking Who Dat. Yes, I hated fucking Who Dat. I thought it was trash. I told you what it was with me. I'll reiterate it
That's
for one
wild.
more time for new
Nah,
people. And
every time you tell me that, I'll be like, dog, no. Like he was going crazy on that song. I
Who
don't. Is it
that?
the
Who
beat?
that? That nigga
Is
go
it
get
the
that
beat,
no,
bro?
it's not the
fine.
beat. I just didn't like what the fuck he was saying on that shit, bro. Like,
All he
So
was
then
saying was, all he was doing on that was talking his shit. You don't like what Cole
yeah,
talking his
I,
shit?
I was like,
I
it didn't
guess
age
at
well
that
to you or
particular
something.
time, no.
The,
At that
the,
particular time, no.
if it's your first time really getting introduced to him, and then that chorus kind of throw it off a little bit too, because it's not really a chorus. So,
Nah, dog. I want to see him perform that live now. I want to see how that go.
I mean,
Okay, so
you probably have a different opinion on it
That
now.
shit,
I ain't
that
mean to
should
cut
go
nobody
so
off. You know
crazy
what
if he
I'm saying?
performed that.
Nah, that go wild because ain't nobody heard that in God knows when.
Yeah,
Years.
yeah.
but yeah, just to reiterate, like that was my introduction to Cole.
Oh,
So
see, well, you didn't say that.
I said that previous
Not to me,
on.
you didn't.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I said that on a previous episode, way back before we was even doing video. So, long story short, I got introduced to Cole that way, and then I waited till the album came out. His first album come out, and that's when I became a fan of Cole. And then after that, that's when I went back to the mixtapes. And I was like, oh, okay, I get he's that nigga for real. He's that nigga. So that's why I got it now. After that, like it took me 4 projects, but I got it after that. And that's
It
also
locks you
why he
in.
was that's also a reason why he was my first concert. Like that was another reason why they went hand in hand. Dog. Like so
I got introduced to Cole through the warm up, and then right after the warm up, it was and honestly, it wasn't nobody that introduced me to him. It was just kind of like I heard a snippet on, I think it was like Hot New Hip Hop or Hip Hop Early on one of them blog sites, and I was like, okay, let me see what this is. So I played. I think the first Cole song I ever heard was Grown Simba. That was the first song I ever heard, and I was like addicted already. So, but the episode of Who Dat was actually kind of funny because he was talking about when he made the beat with Elite in some hotel room somewhere, and how him and Elite was looking back and forth at each other, like, what the fuck is this we making? This shit is fire. Like, I don't know what we about to do with this, but this is fire. And they put it out as a single, and it didn't do well. It didn't do well. Um, which makes sense because it made sense back then. It makes sense now. Um, but it didn't do well, but it gave him hope because there was a positive response behind the song. The episode after that was Friday Night Lights. He was talking about why he made Friday Night Lights because Hov was basically kept telling him like, you can't put an album out without a hit. Like if you don't have a hit, we're not giving you no release date. Cole got impatient and his hype was dying. He felt like his hype was dying down after the freshman cover and all of that stuff that had been going on in 2010. So he like, fuck it, I'm finna sacrifice these album songs. I'm finna put them on a mixtape, record a couple more verses. We're gonna put a tape out. He also talked about how he ended up on that Kanye song, Looking for Trouble. He recorded a verse for the song. Kanye didn't tell him who else was on the song. He didn't tell him nothing else. He only sent him the beat. Nobody was on it.
He just said here.
He recorded it and sent it back to him, and the song came out. He sent it to him on Wednesday. And he said the way that Kanye made it seem like he was like, man, he ain't say this, but he said the way Kanye worded it, he made it seem like, bro, do you know how many rappers would love to get on this song? Like, are you serious? You better jump on this before somebody else do.
So basically, in long story short, he basically gave that to him in the middle of the week. It was during Good Fridays. It was coming out on Friday. Mm-hmm. If you think about it, me personally, I'm releasing it as soon as you done. Like I'm not paying attention. I'm not paying that shit no mind. But I'm sure he had the other artists to get on and all that shit and the other shit. I still stand by the fact that like what I said previous long time ago that is my favorite, one of my favorite J. Cole verses and probably the best J. Cole verse on that particular song. Like, and I've heard, and that is saying a lot because he was rapping against Pusha T, Sci-Hi, Big Sean, and Kanye. Kanye had a short ass verse though. So, yeah, like this, it's a particular part where he explains how he was like low key pissed, but then like mad. Like didn't curse out Kanye for this shit or anybody, where his verse got nudged. And this is where I'm gonna talk about where I was mad at Kuda Buggin because we redid a song that we did not have to redo. He only wanted to redo it because of the length of the song. And I'm tried to I redid. This is literally my blood cousin telling me that I don't know. I guess I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and he don't know like that, bro. My verse is placed there for a reason, dog. Like it didn't make sense as far as where it's placed. So, to the optics, I guess, for him in his point of view, but it made perfect sense to me. Because I'm talking about KOD or KOB, that song, particular song. Because you wanted to redo it because I guess you didn't like your second verse, or you wanted the song to be shorter, but my verse did not fit there. I redid this damn verse like 5-6 times, dog. Like, and I was so frustrated, and I'm just like, dog, it be like it's my beat. I'm playing all three hats. I'm playing artist, engineer, and producer. It's specifically like
I knew that's where this was going. Keep
like
going.
that's where it was. Like it's basically like, okay, I just know placements. Like that's all it was. It's just placements. That's all it was, bro. Like it didn't sonically sound great where it was placed. That's it. That's basically all it was, bro. And I wasn't so
Quarterback
pissed.
was like, man, fuck that. The verse is cool as that. Like,
He said, "I said what I said, damn it."
It just made sense on song structure and what it was. It was unexpected. It was an unexpected timing of a verse that nobody knew it was gonna be there. Kuda Buggy didn't know it was gonna be there. I literally did this on a whim, dog.
I got a question.
The verse did not. Okay, go ahead.
I just want to know the time frame. Like, how long ago was this?
It's had to be like some years.
2018, 2019, maybe.
And that story made you think of that, huh?
Yeah. Like the story of how basically J. Cole, his verse was slightly
pushed
moved
to the back.
Yeah.
Because his verse was last.
Yeah. And my verse was last.
And the worst thing.
My verse was
no,
last.
it's not. But it's not
crazy.
the worst thing. But I think Cole was just mad because the circumstances in which the beat was sent to him, and he recorded it, and I guess he felt like because of how high in regard he held this verse, it should have been like in the front somewhere. But when it came out, it was in the back. Now, in hindsight, Cole also said that it was cool where it was at. In hindsight, well, at the time of the recording of the verse, he felt like it should have been higher on the song. But he loves that song. He said he loved that song. He loved that verse. He was just a little upset because it got pushed off way to the back.
I'm weak. He didn't
like having the last verse is such a bad thing. Like yes, the opening verse is supposed to make a statement about the song, but you can't have a weak closer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd rather have a weak opener than a closer.
Mm-hmm.
That's his preference.
Yeah, but you also don't want to have a weak opener because the opener is what like my boy DNA said some episodes ago. The beginning of the song is supposed to grab you. If it don't, you're not going. Even if the end is amazing, you're not going to want to hear the rest.
But in a defense of that, it's more so how the song carries itself in whole. If the beat don't hold you long enough, you might not last. You might not last the first 10 seconds of it.
For sure.
As an artist, though, it wasn't his vision where that verse was first placed at. So it just wasn't his original vision. So,
but it wasn't his song
for sure.
Yeah, it just threw him off. So that's probably.
But it wasn't it. But see, the other thing he probably had to realize, like, it's not my song.
Yeah,
I'm just featured.
Man.
But the story behind Friday Night Lights was basically Hov told him he couldn't put an album out without a single. He felt his momentum would, dwindle if he didn't put something out. So him and Eve decided that we was just gonna give away all these songs that are supposed to be for the album for free, put some more songs on there and just release it. Like, fuck it, we just gonna put it out. And they did amazing.
It's crazy how times change because they was begging him, he was pushing him to come out with a single. Nowadays, you don't even need a single.
Hold on, because that's where we go into the next episode. Because in the next episode, which was about how Sideline story was made, Cole said he went after Friday Night Lights came out from December of 2010 to maybe like the summer of 2011. He went through this very, very low, depressing period where the music he was making just wasn't where he wanted it to be. He kept trying too hard to make a hit to please Jay. And the thing he said that actually no, I'm sorry. The depressing time period was in 2010 before Friday Night Lights was made. After that, he was still making music trying to get this hit, and he couldn't get it. And he worked with Stargate. Stargate produced Black and Yellow, and at this time, Black and Yellow was on its way all the way up. So Hov wanted to put him in the studio with Stargate. So he went in the studio with Stargate, but he didn't want to use none of the ideas they gave him. And the one thing he did in there, Eve said he did a verse where he basically dissed the entire situation. He dissed the producers, he dissed the studio, he dissed a whole bunch of people in this one song, and it never saw the light of day. He just did it just to get some shit off.
So he made a crash out song and no one knows.
Pretty much.
That's
so. So after that happened, I don't know if y'all knew. I knew this, but I don't know if any of y'all knew this. But back in those days, LeBron and Jay-Z used to do a dinner on All-Star Weekend. They had a whole bunch of celebrities there. They had Drake there. They had Drake's manager. They had a whole bunch of people in there. And Eve said, Hov walked in the room, looked directly at Drake, and told him, mind you, Thank Me Later had been out.
Mhm.
He walked in the room, looked directly at Drake, and told him, why don't you get a boy one? Talking about Cole, give him a hit. Like, give him a hit. And Cole was mad. So at the after party, Cole walked up to Hov and asked him, like, hey, so I got a question. When you was making Reasonable Doubt, did you have somebody in your ear telling you you needed a hit to put your album out? Like your album wasn't coming out without a hit? He said, no. He said, so why do you keep doing that to me?
I was waiting for a hitter with the. Now, why the fuck you gonna do it to me? Stop it.
So what
You gotta-
he was convinced that they was going to get dropped that night because Cole was pissed. You could tell on his face.
I forgot you. I don't know if this probably came before it though. The part where he also told Jay-Z he had a meeting with him, and he told Cole that he couldn't do it. He can't produce his own hit.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. So Cole had a meeting with Hov, and Hov basically looked him dead in his face and said he didn't think that he could produce his own hit. Like he didn't think he could do it. Like he needed help. And the way that Cole was looking at it, he wasn't overly emotional about it, but it did kind of hurt his feelings. Like and Hov could kind of tell that he hurt his feelings.
Man,
He didn't mean to hurt. Now he didn't mean to do that. It was just he was just being honest. Like he thought he couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? He thought he needed like help to do it. That's why he kept putting them in studios with like Pharrell and Stargate and all these different producers to try to come up with something. So he was already mad about that. But the boiling point was when Hov came in the room. The boiling point came when Hov pointed to Drake in that dinner and told him, why don't you give J. Cole a hit? Like, no, Cole was sent over by this point. So he came to him.
Now.
He came to him in that after party and asked him that question. Hov said, you know what?
And Cole is the type to talk with his hands. So
yeah,
why you keep doing that to me? Dog, if I could have seen that shit, I'm like,
the
damn.
hand justice. Like, you doing this to me?
So Hov basically looked at Cole, thought about it, and was like, you know what? You are absolutely right. I'm going to go ahead and step out the way and let you do what you do. Right? So around this time, after that happened, that's when Workout got made. And he said the way that Workout was made was very like, he stopped like worrying so much about chasing the hit. The nigga was in a hotel room randomly, was listening to that song, the new Workout plan, heard that part at the end, and jumped up and was like, I got an idea. Ran to the computer, looped the beat up, made the beat, recorded the verse. Not right then. He ended up in a session with this producer named Shay Taylor. I don't know if y'all know who that is, but at that time, Shay Taylor was a big R&B producer. He had made stuff for Beyonce and all type of stuff. And at the same time, they shared this session with Sean Garrett. So the song that they ended up making was originally They ended up making an idea for a song.
It was trash.
Cole, hold on, wait. I'm like, wait.
All right.
Cole brought that piece of an idea and Workout to Hov. He played Workout for him first. Cole was all behind Workout, right? Cole was like, that's a good song. That's a good song. He heard the joint that he did with Shay Taylor and Sean Garrett. He only put 8 bars on that song. This man, Hov and Memphis Bleak were both in this meeting. They both was like, you need to finish this song instead of Workout. Like, that's going to be the single. Cole was like, oh, no, I don't want to do it.
I don't
want to do that song. Like, but he did it anyway. And yes, when he played it, it was trash. It was definitely trash. Now, mind you, that song actually did come out, but they changed the beat. It's actually Cold World off of the first album. They changed the beat. But when the song came out, it was trash. And you could tell that Cole was like amazed, like amused with himself because he's heard him say something and he go, wait a minute, what did I say? Like what? Like that shit is trash. Turn it off.
Look, do you think the beat helped it when it finally?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. That was that was the trashiest part is the beat.
That's fucked up. So it got double trash twice.
Okay, so when it was about to come out, he played it for Hove again in a meeting with his manager Mark Pitts, and Cole was like, "No, I can't do this." He was honest with him. He looked Hove dead in his face and said, "I can't do this. I cannot put this song out. I can't do it." And Hove looked at him. He was like, "You know what? You're not gonna put that song out because I'm not. I don't want you feeling bad about putting that song out if you really don't believe in it, and also I don't want that on me. Like I don't want that decision on me. Like if you put this song in and it do bad, and I'm the one who encouraged it, like no, I don't want that on me." So that's when Hove truly got out of the way and just said, "Okay, here's your release date. You can put your song out, and we'll just do it that way." And when Workout came out, it didn't do well at first. It didn't do well at first. I don't think it did well until after the album it came out. I think.
Yeah.
Now that's about the time that I cut off. I didn't listen to the rest, but from what I remember being around at that time, Workout was a.
Shit.
I remember when Workout came out, and I liked the song, but I remember it wasn't as big as it was till after the album dropped.
Yeah.
Because wait, didn't the music video come out before or after?
The song and the music video came out in the summer.
Did they explain how Can't Get Enough was made?
That's what I was going to ask too.
Okay, so Can't Get Enough was back in the Friday Night Lights episode. No ID had told Cole about this producer named Brian Kidd who was like up and coming, right? He got in the studio with him and Brian Kidd played him this song, the beat for Can't Get Enough. And he was like, "Ooh, I got to record this." So he went and recorded it and he was gone. I forget who he said he was going to put on the hook first. I think he said, who he said he was going to put on the hook first? Because it wasn't, Trey Songz wasn't his first choice.
I forgot who I know he said he wrote the hook already.
He had wrote the hook himself.
Yeah, but, I don't. I don't remember either.
He originally wanted somebody else on that hook. It wasn't Drake. I know that. But it was somebody. And then he was out at a party with Drake, and Trey Songz was there, and somebody had mentioned. I think Eve had mentioned to him, like, "Why don't you get Trey Songz to do it?"
Yep.
So that's how that got made. It wasn't really like a big story. It was just like,
Yeah,
it happened. Just happened.
It just kind of happened like that. And the only reason Trey Songz ended up on that song is because he saw him out at a party, and Eve was like, "Why don't you ask him to do it?"
So literally, it was just off whim, just like, "Hey, go ask that guy."
The funniest story is, well, it's not really funny, but the more stressful story is how In the Morning got made.
I was just gonna say In the Morning and Nobody's Perfect was my other two.
He talked about Nobody's Perfect on the Sideline Story episode. That one wasn't that fanfaric. He just knew for a fact that when he made it, he wanted Missy Elliott on.
Right. Originally he wanted Aaliyah, but Aaliyah wasn't alive, of course. But so that's obviously why, Rest in peace.
But he said he made that beat and then was like, "I want Missy on this." But In the Morning, he had In the Morning since like 09 or something like that. Some producer had brought him that beat, and he made a song called In the Morning, but it's not the song that we know. It was different verses. Same concept, different verses. So he redid the verses, and by this time he had got cool with Drake, and he asked Drake, would he do the song? Because Drake had heard the song and was like, "Bro, I heard this song and I sent all my producers home. Like, I just need to like get more stuff like this." Like,
he's also all my producers home.
But Drake took a very long time to send him that verse back. That was the funny part. Like, the nigga took so long to send him that verse back.
For sure.
But he did finally send it to him. And they just put it on Friday Night Lights. And he did talk about that the reason that Lights Please and In the Morning, which were already mixtape songs, ended up on Sideline Story was because Hove and Mark Pitt suggested that those two particular songs go on that album because of the public response.
Right.
So I'm assuming there's nothing special behind Mr. Nice Watch either. Then
I haven't gotten that far. I didn't get that far.
I got you.
Shit. You cool with me telling it or?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care because I'll listen to it anyway.
So he wanted originally. J. Cole originally wanted Hove on God's Gift,
I did hear that part.
and he ended up getting on Mr. Nice Watch. He just liked it better.
That's because it sounded like Ham.
Oh, he said something funny about Ham too. I didn't even say that part. He was in the meeting trying to sequence the album, and Jay-Z was telling him how he felt like they should push Ham to a bonus track because he felt like it didn't fit with the rest of the album. Because when you think about Ham and you think about the rest of that album, it really doesn't fit at all.
I say where its placement is on the album, I can see what you're saying that, but
it's not on the main album. Like It's not.
Nowhere in between those songs or anything like that. So yeah, I get that too.
Hov was like, no, we can't put this on the actual album. We can make it a bonus song. This shit just doesn't fit.
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, bro, he's gonna talk about Born Center next, and I'm just like so interested in this story because this particular album I'm really interested in because I'm trying to figure out what was his real intentions, like as far as like this is like right before because it was a shift. It's a shift in his music after that, bro. Like honestly, the Born Center time is a big ass shift in his music. So that's why I want to really know about Born Center and like how the fuck it got made and everything. So I can't wait for that. And another thing is like that's why I like that Who Dat song is so funny because I ain't got no problem with the beat. I have no issue with the beat. It's just literally literally he is his like I was just like what the hell is this? Like it's just like
excuse me.
Nah, it's not. It just wasn't it for me.
That video is looking iconic though. If you know what you know.
Right.
Just for him, because it's like he still didn't really have he really didn't have a buzz outside of New York, and I think his own hometown and a couple other places when he made that. So
yeah,
just the fact that he had his whole like city behind him in that video was crazy.
Yeah. Another thing about what J. Cole is doing and giving us these episodes and talking about everything and how last we gotta remember to cover this too, John, because you saw that the tweet I sent you. We gotta talk about that too.
About how somebody on Twitter is convinced that we are still getting the It's a Boy project.
Right. I'm guessing It's a Boy is supposed to be about his first son, his son, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I want to speak a little bit about how J. Cole is like literally taking the independent but not independent route because of this.
He technically is independent now, if you didn't know. Because like I thought
he still signed the Interscope.
He is signed to Interscope, but I doubt they have much to do with what his creative choices or how he chooses to roll out his music. I think it's kind of just like I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna let y'all know when it's about to come out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like,
and the only reason I say that is because Kendrick is signed with Interscope as well, and the nigga just dropped the album randomly and only told the label 2 hours before it came out.
Drop it at 9 a.m. ASAP.
So yeah, he told the label like 2 hours before it came out. Like, yeah, we dropping the album today. Like, all right.
Talking about some got that album ready. Drop it.
It's pretty much like a wrestler being signed with creative control.
Basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So
good reference. I like that
one. This inevitable little audio series / audio documentary podcast.
Podcast.
Right.
to me is more so that shit look like an app, dog, and I honestly think it's gonna end up being an app. I don't know for sure, but it's
But
looking that way.
he got a lot of stuff going through there. He got the series. He got he uploaded the vinyls and the CDs to that. The tickets for the Madison Square Garden show, which I just discovered is the equivalent of $1 in the Dream tour.
Yeah, it's basically the equivalent of that, but it's like just placed in one city
On a bigger scale.
Right. It's sort of like how Hove did his B-side show. I'm sure it's gonna be clips floating around and everything.
Somebody was like, it should be live streamed. I'm like, nah, they ain't gonna do that. Watch I tell you.
Nah, bro. No, hell no. And then I want to go back to something Martin said snuckingly, and he snuck it in there. And I thought I don't know if he thought I was gonna remember, but this shit is not gonna end up on YouTube, Doc. Sorry, it's not. This shit is not. None of this shit that he's getting recorded.
I don't think it's gonna end up on YouTube. Not no time soon, though.
I'm just trying, I'm just trying to get you to see that it's direct to consumer, dog. It's not no way. If this shit gets out on YouTube, I promise you, it strikes down within the week that it's been put Martin, on YouTube, dog.
Listen, Martin, I'm telling you this right now, bro. I know how you feel about this,
about March 2025.
Look, I'm telling you this. Look, okay. I'm telling you, it's a lot of good content, good stories, and a lot of information behind 10 punk ass dollars. It really is. I would tell you, and I told DNA
funky ass dollars.
And I told DNA, like, this is some of the best $10 I ever spent. Not because it's just because it's J. Cole, but it's just because the stories and the way that we're getting these stories directly from the mouth of the two people who experienced it is just like, and the way we're getting it, it's kind of like there's no middleman, there's nobody like taking stuff out. It's pure, it's raw, it's unfiltered, and it's the way it happened. And somebody on Twitter was like, somebody on the little group chat that I showed y'all off that website was saying something like, I guess for a long time, Cole and Eve didn't go nowhere without each other. And I said, fuck no, because everybody needs an Eve. Like, Cole wouldn't be half of where he was without him. Like, yeah, Cole was talented, but Eve believed in him.
Yeah. Sure.
All you need is somebody to be willing to believe in you so much that they willing to sacrifice whatever they got going on to make sure you make it. Because when you make it, we all make it. In a sense. Because Eve might, and I said this in the chat. I said, look, talking about everybody want to be the main character. I said, first of all, everybody is the main character in their own story. But when it comes to success, ain't nothing wrong with playing second. Because even when you play second, you can still be successful.
Man. Like, yeah. I also want to bring some attention to like something because me and Kuda Buggin worked on a lot of music at a long form of time, and we still can, at any point, like I might get some inspiration and send him 5 beats like here. But I want him to understand that I told him some form of this. like I told in the past, like I told him to get with different producers. Don't be solely reliant on me because of mainly because just to get the experience, dog. Like that's the main thing I was trying to get. I didn't want him to ever think that I was done. Like I'm never done. I'm still talking about music. I'm still in the music business with you. We're just not solely in it. Like if you would in optics. So long story short, I told Kuda Buggin like a while ago, like he sent 2 songs to me that came out earlier. I want to say last year or a year before that. I can't remember. It was around the time of, I want to say it was around the time of you did the theme song for the podcast. I want to say around that time. And I told him like this is not a single. Like it's not it's not a single because of it sounds like a mixtape cut or album cut. Like it's not Like it don't give me single vibes, dog. Like, and then if you know that, you know that like just listening to music over the years, like if you like we've all listened to albums. We know what the single is, and we know what's not the single. Like just listening and knowing, but and that's only off the strength of we've been listening to music for so long, and we're basically I guess you could say not really journalists, but we're paying attention to everything that's surrounding music in the music business. So
Man, we
bro.
journalists, goddamn.
Hey, I got a couple in the vote. That's why I ain't saying much.
Oh yeah, well I mean I expected that. Like I never doubted the fact of that because I know how many notebooks you carried around, nigga. Like come on. Anyways, I never doubted the fact that you got something already, dog. Like it was a lot of different things in play at that time and also in this time. So that's why I'm just trying to get you to understand that. Like I never was never gonna leave the music in any way. Like it's like still got such of a hold on me. I told the enemy after we got off air, like dog, I still get inspiration on writing shit. I just don't write it. I just don't. I refuse to write because it's like honestly, I'm gonna be talking about my life, and I don't want everybody in my life like to know what the fuck going on behind the scenes.
That's why you gotta cast it in a story, my boy.
Right. So another thing happened pertaining to he talked about J. Cole talked about on the last episode, which was Sideline Story, where he was talking about how at that time when he was putting the track list out, that's the same time around where he where Beyonce
I forgot when Beyonce announced she was pregnant on the VMAs was the same time they was putting the track list up. Somebody got on Twitter and told Cole like, "Oh, don't nobody give a fuck about your track list."
I'm weak.
Excuse me.
Right.
Beyonce is pregnant. No one cares.
Right. Cole, Beyonce is pregnant. No, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. He was looking at it like, oh no.
It's over.
For sure, bro. Like that's crazy. That one person can just like
stop the world.
Like just everything. Stop everything.
Like we talking about Beyonce is pregnant. Like she actually let that motherfucker impregnate her. Stop everything.
For sure. Yeah, man. It's crazy time.
I remember that time because I'm sitting there thinking about it like, damn, you right. Like when that shit happened, I was on Twitter at that time. Like, so I remember motherfuckers all on Twitter talking about Beyonce pregnant, Beyonce this, Beyonce that. And Cole definitely
belly bump rub, yeah.
Cole definitely was splitting his track list out at the same time.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. And then also like this, like you can tell, like he's really painting a great ass picture of how the influence on Twitter and social media, everything. He came in right in the beginning of that. Like he came in the game right in the beginning of that, dog. Like you got to think about everything surrounding that. That's why I operate the way I operate. If anybody been paying attention, that really fucks with me like you're supposed to. On my my IG, and I'm running 2 IGs. Like literally, I'm running 2 Instagrams at the same damn time. So it's like literally, like I gotta move in strategy now. I can't literally. I gotta post on everything on this page and this page pertaining to the podcast, not pertaining to my personal, because my personal life is a whole nother issue. But long story short, I'm solely pushing this podcast through the majority of the week and weekend. So like, you know, I gotta do it like that. Like how else am I gonna not do it like that? So long story short, social media plays a big part in what we do here. And I would never, ever forget this because everybody always asks me, well, people close to me. One person, my niece, for example, had asked me, why don't you start a website? Like, who the fuck gonna run it? Who's gonna run it? Can you run
You
it?
need somebody to
Are
run
you gonna run it? That's the day to day. So you got to be on top of what the fuck I'm doing. Instagram every week, Twitter every week. You got to be posting with everything I'm posting. So I shut that down real quick, and then this week somebody asked me again that I did the new intros for interviews and clips. Y'all see? I don't know if y'all seen that yet, but yeah, like they asked me, we'll help you out with a website. I told them, thank you, but no thank you. Nobody can run it. Literally, somebody would have to be able to be like watching every one of my moves, bro. Like they have to be 24 hours. This is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week thing, doc.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do they understand that this shit is like not a like? That's why it would be difficult. Honestly, it's not 100% difficult, but it'll be like 20, like at least 50% difficult for me to like straight up like do not disturb my phone or just stay off my phone for a full day because I'm gonna miss something. Gonna miss something. Like, and I don't want it to be like that, but it's like that at the moment. It's just like that at the moment. You feel me? I've been doing it 6 years strong for a reason, doc. Like, hello. How you doing? 100 subscribers. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. You feel me? Like,
subscribe down below.
For sure. And like it up, man. Follow our clips page that's newly reinvented and everything. Follow us on Spotify too. We ain't gotta pay to upload no more. Thank you, Jesus. So yeah, man. Like we moving, and we gonna continue to move, and we gonna continue to get this great content. Continue to give y'all great episodes of us really breaking everything down because a lot of people don't want to. Like, I get the stance of not wanting to pay.
For sure.
I get the stance of not wanting to pay, dog. I understand like Kuda Buggin's reasons. I understand Martin's reasons. Is like the reason why me and Silk paid. Like it's just the reason why we paid. You feel me? We went on ahead and paid that $10. It's other reaches, it's other ways to get noticed, and it's other ways to put things behind a paywall. Fuck you, Joe Budden. You put shit behind a paywall. You put your last episode, not the most recent one, but the one where you talking about Drake and the lawsuit. Yeah, I've been paying attention, nigga. You put that shit behind a paywall for real, dog. When that's a regular ass episode that you can have out there for free, dog, for real. Like I get it. You made $1 million off that beef, but dog, like dog, that shit ain't cool, dog. Like I get it, but bulk of your money, I know for sure it's coming from YouTube. I know for sure.
YouTube does take care of you.
Like, and that's why you like rotating. You doing what the fuck you doing, dog. I see what you rotating. Those who want a Patreon, those who want a YouTube, those who want a Patreon, those who want a YouTube. You trying to kick Queens Flip out. I see that too. Like you trying your best to get his ass up out of here. He's not generating any money for you or something like that. So I'm seeing you doing that, and you're trying to get your podcast moved to Florida. I know you are. So like, it's just evident at this point. He's probably gonna introduce another tier. So it's a $5 tier, a $10 tier, a $25 tier, a $50 tier, and $100. He's gonna probably implement a $100 tier.
Where's the I don't give a fuck tier at?
Like,
like, what that button at? Because nigga, what?
Right,
Fuck that. Fuck that. It's just like you giving out, you putting your information and putting everything, your rents and shit behind the paywall. I get that. I get it.
Don't think I don't get it, because I do. But like,
I'm gonna just say this: I would rather invest in possibly paying for an OnlyFans before, like, like, because at least I'm getting something out of watching the OnlyFans, listening to Joe. I don't know if I'm gonna get the real information for real. That nigga just gonna be talking his ass off.
Oh shit, he got
You see what I'm saying,
He
G?
got
Like,
connections.
Whose man's is this?
man,
He got connections.
I'm
should
just
not
saying,
go
you
unnoticed. He got
feel me?
connections to the industry, so like, it makes all the sense in the world.
I mean, I
You
guess
feel me?
he dropped some gems, but ain't no $100 gems worth, no $25 gems worth, from what I know.
So
No,
so you paying $100 for OnlyFans?
no, I'm just saying, like, shit. If you was to pay $100, at least I get my worth out of that for sure.
It'd be straight to the point, huh?
Straight to the point. Here you go. Here's $100. Here's all what you get for free. I mean, not for free. Here's what you get, what you pay for. You can do this, that, and the third. All right, cool. And ain't no middleman.
Yeah. I don't think you got it. Anybody got anything else?
I have a couple of quick newses.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. Well, Drake's Anita Max win tour for the overseas.
He's doing that. Also, he's doing that around the time that Kendrick is supposed to be performing at the Super Bowl.
I don't know why.
Yep.
I don't know why people are so think that's like some calculated like move against Kendrick, that's just gonna hinder people from watching the Super Bowl or going to the Super Bowl. Like,
because the overseas
don't nobody
tour, so
care.
don't do that for
It
nobody.
ain't gonna
No
work.
one cares. It's not. No nobody care. Like, people in Australia are gonna go see him and it's gonna be nice. That's all I'm gonna say.
It said Kendrick's projected to have eight spots on the top 10 charts from GNX, and it's supposed to be set as Squabble Up, TV Off, Luther, Walked Out Morals, Hey Now, Reincarnated, Man at the Garden, and Dodger Blue.
Okay.
I believe that. I said it. I said it a few days ago that Squabble Up probably be number one.
Yeah, because that's the long awaited song.
It still
that's
didn't
what I was
get
rocking off.
released yet of what's his first week sales, right? It's just
No, they
projected.
ain't released it yet. I thought it was.
Yeah, well, not
They should have done it by now, because it's Saturday.
Yeah, it's projected to be. Oh, there it is.
It's out.
324.
Okay.
That's projections, I think.
It says
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. But also it says, Not Like Us is expected to have a huge 440% increase in sales and 20% increase on streams this week in the US.
Okay, cool.
So in other words, everybody and their mama is just gonna replay it. But it's for this week. It earned over 336 million streams on Spotify alone, but I think the week sales was 324.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's what I think. That's just number 2 or 3 of all of Kendrick's album sales in first weeks. Damn is still the highest at like 6 something.
Yeah, man. So that's it. That's all. We will see y'all next week. Well, I'm not gonna lie. You might see me next week, maybe, possibly. But stay updated. Y'all know what to look at, man. So be on YouTube. Look at the every post. Be on the IG, Instagram. You feel me? Be everywhere, pretty much, that I'm at and we're at. You feel me? So yeah, we out. That's it. So